Hello. Whew. All right, got some spicy questions for you. Who do you think is working with who? Right now, I know that Zach and Ty and Dennis are working close together, and that brings in Claudia and Shanaya. And I personally am working with Jonathan, Hope, Santina, Vanessa, Kuzi, Daniel C, and I hope Anika, which means I hope I'm safe this week. Who do you trust the most? My man from the rock, Big Jonathan, is my number one in this house, the most genuine person I've met in this house, and truthfully, in general, him and I have a strong connection with each other, and you know, it's unbreakable, I think, in this house. Sorry. Just looking at my hair right now, and it's all over the place, so bear with me, Canada. Who do you trust the least? Well, if you're keeping up with the season thus far, I've been backdoored and backstabbed. So I have to say, my man Zach, I do not trust you for anything. What is the worst case scenario for you next week? The worst case scenario for me next week is probably what it might look like this week. I'd be on the block. It would mean that Zach or Ty win HOH. Best case scenario, I win HOH. And maybe one of those guys will go home. I still love my boy Ty, but I'm on a mission right now, and it's to get Zach out of this house. Peace and love, Canada. I miss you, family, and I'll see you soon, but not too soon. Hey! That sucked.
Hi, Canada! Okay. Who do you think is working with who? Ooh, I'm excited. Hi. I think that I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm going to skip that question. Sorry. Who do you trust the most? I trust Ty. I trust Ty. And Anika. Who do you trust the least? Zach. Come on, guys. We all know this. Sorry. What is the worst case scenario for you next week? That I don't win HOH! Yeah! Bye, Canada. I love you. Oh! Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh God. Okay. Hi. Who do you think is working with who? I think that Zach, Ty are obviously working together. Maybe Dan's in there. I think Rob was in there. I think that has now changed given the circumstances of this week. Hope, I think there's a guy thing going on as much as they want to deny it. I think there's something going on there. Santina might be in there, but I'm not totally sure. And then I also kind of feel like maybe Kuz, Anika, Daniel C might have something going on. Honestly, I don't know, though I feel like I'm delusional half the time in this house. Who do you trust the most? I think this one's probably pretty obvious. I trust Cece the most. I'm sure everyone across this country could guess that. Who else do I trust? I trust Dan a lot, actually, and I would say I trust Daniel C as well. Who do you trust the least? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like I'm paranoid about everyone right now. I think I, weirdly enough, might trust Ty the least, but that's because we don't talk a lot of game. We don't talk a lot at all, actually. So that would be my answer for that one, I think. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay, what is the worst case scenario for you next week? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't think, aside from me being on the block, this week has been so bad for me. It's hard for me to imagine a week going worse, aside from me going home. So worst case scenario would be me on the block next to Cece. That would be hands down worst case. I would hate that. or me on the block next to someone like Kuzi, because everyone's loving Kuz for obvious reasons. Those are my worst case scenarios. Shout out to all my friends back home, Abby, Samara, Jade, Rosa. I miss and love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Who do you think is working with who? So I know that I'm working with Zach for the most part. I think Rob and Johnny are working together. And obviously me and Claudia are working in a bit of cahoots right now. Who do you trust the most? I would say that I trust Zach the most. Claudia is a close second. And Kuzi, I cannot forget Kuzi, that's my girl. Who do you trust the least? I would say that I trust Daniel C. the least. And Anika, they're probably in the same boat. What is the worst case scenario for you next week? The worst case scenario is Rob stays and now I got to defend my guy Zach. Peace. Shout out to Petey and Anna. Congrats on your wedding.
What's going on? Zach here. Got a couple questions to answer. First thing I have to do though is say I miss you, AJ. I love you, girl. Hopefully you're enjoying your trip, and everybody, friends and family, everyone supporting me. Thank you. Who do you think is working with who? I know the girls are working together. That's for sure. I think that I know that Daniel C. and Anika. And Kuzi kind of have a little thing going. Also think that it's pretty evident that Ty and I have a really good relationship as well. And there's some people that we're working along with as well. Jonathan, Roberto, Santina, who's also working with us. I don't know where she stands right now. But then also Vanessa, who doesn't seem to be a big fan of me. Who do you trust the most? I trust my guy Ty. I ride or die for that guy. He is my man. I love that dude. He's as real as they come, and I'm super grateful that I ended up meeting with him. He's the first person I communicated with when I walked in the door, and the plan is for him to be the last person that I communicate with when we're the final two. So I'm gonna stay true to that guy, and I truly believe he's gonna stay true to me. I'm in some hot water right now, and I think he's the one guy who I can go to right now and is a rock for me. Hope as well. I really trust Hope. Hope's a dude, man. He's just one of those loyal kids. I got a lot of respect for him. Early on in the game, I think I had a hard time sort of connecting with him, but I've learned to understand him a lot more. And he's just a young kid, man. He's just trying to have fun. So those guys are two people I really trust. Daniel C. as well. I trust Daniel C. a ton. I think he's a really great guy. I'm super glad I was able to meet someone like that. Not someone I would typically hang out with, and I think that's what makes Big Brother so unique, is that you're making friendships for life that you otherwise wouldn't have in the bubbles that we live in outside of this bubble. Who do you trust the least? It's a loaded question. I think right now, not that I don't work with Vanessa, so not that I don't trust her. She's probably the person that I have the worst connection with in the house. When it comes to trust, listen, I'm playing a heavy game. I'm playing a hard game. So trust is something that, right now for me, it's more the people I do trust, less about the people I don't trust. So I'm not as focused on that right now. I think I just got to kind of maneuver, which leads into this last question. What is the worst case scenario for next week? It would either be Jonathan or Vanessa winning HOH. Jonathan, I think I can mend that relationship. I think once he sees, where myself and Ty were coming from. And on top of that, I think that he's a really good human being. And I do want to I want him to have a really great time. So, worst case, him winning, I hate to say that because I really do want him to have a chance to speak with his family. I know he wants that extremely bad. And the other one obviously would be Vanessa. Vanessa wins HOH this week. You might as well pack my bags. I'll be on the block. Obviously, I'll be fighting to stay, and I plan to do so regardless if she puts me on. But it wouldn't look good for old Zachy if that happens. And yeah, so love you, AJ. I miss you so much, girl. And I hope everybody's enjoying what we're up to in the house. And it's a lot of fun. But I'm telling you, this is crazy. So if you think you can handle this house, love to see you in the next season because it's a ride.